May 7th, 2002 was a monumental day in Yu-Gi-Oh's history as it debuted the first ever limited list. Change of Heart, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, Raigeki, and all 5 pieces of Exodia were now limited to 1 copy per deck. Additionally, Card Destruction and Swords of Revealing Light were both semi-limited, restricting them to 2 copies per deck. The limited list drastically reduced variance and implemented a much-needed balancing mechanism to the game and is still updated regularly to this very day. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, let's just get this out of the way now. Yes, I am wearing the shirt of shame once again. Yes, I did talk a lot of crap in the past 2 episodes despite falling flat on my face. And yes, I have yet to win a single game, let alone a best of 3, but this isn't going to be another gauge scenario. I'm ending my loss streak right now with this deck. You saw the ridiculous Exodia extravaganza. You watched me miss Waboku, but here is a deck that cannot possibly fail. There's 2 reasons why I think that. The first is that the last 2 sets were determined by which player drew their extremely sacky 3-ofs. Of course, Cimo walked with them. He drew more Pots of Greed. He drew more Swords of Revealing Light. When things are cut down to size by the first ban list, the gameplay is going to be a little more skillful, and the player who more effectively manages their resources is going to come out on top. Not the player who draws the better opener, I hope. And secondly, well, I'm a pretty good deck builder, but I'm not fantastic. I appreciate the ability to, shall we say, get less creative when it comes to deck building, and maybe see what was winning around the same time as this list. 2002 is when we first get decks we can net deck, and boy am I happy to do so. Now, I don't think that the individuals who were playing the game in 2002, the Yugi role players who infested every Magic the Gathering LGS nationwide, made the best deck building choices. But at the very minimum, they provided a framework which I can use as a springboard to build my own meta-destroying monstrosity. Now, you see on the screen here the cards that I've selected to play, and I think there's very little argument about really any of them. We've got 3 Man-Eater Bug, extremely powerful removal tool in a world where we don't have access to Dark Hole and Raigeki as often. We've got Trap Master, which might seem like a bit of a sus include, but keep in mind that now that 9 of the, top 40 playables are all traps, we might actually need to destroy one now and again. We've got Wall of Illusion, the defensive wall that stops everything, even Mechanical Chaser. We've got Battle Ox, we've got Giant Soldiers, we've got Lejin, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp, and we've got Neo, the Magic Swordsman. I'm also playing 2 Summon Skull because I think with an absence of Dark Hole and Raigeki, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to tribute cards, especially flip monsters like Man-Eater Bug that are dead weight after they've activated their effect. We're playing the powerful spells and traps, of course. We've got a Dark Hole, we've got Fissures, which were cut from the previous build because they didn't make the cut. Now that there are way fewer removal spells, they're back in. We've got Reborn, we've got Pot, we've got Raigeki, we've got Swords, but we've also got Reinforcement in order to win battle, which is going to actually matter when there aren't so many sweepers. 3 Trap Hole, which will destroy our opponent's monsters, and 3 Waboku, which Alex used to great effect last episode. In the side deck, we don't have a ton, but I am playing 1 card Destruction on the off chance that Alex is on Exodia, but who would ever play that? 3 Dispel if it becomes clear that I need to have a more specific out to Swords of Revealing Light, and 3 Remove Trap based on what Alex is playing. I believe legal for this tournament, or for this format, is also just desserts, so if that's the case, we may need to be a little more proactive in our removal. With this deck, I aim to end the loss streak before it can reach the mimetic status that Gage had to deal with. Wish me luck.
Happy ban list day, everybody. I shouldn't really say ban list because it's more like happy limited list day, but it's still the same type of idea. It's the first official limited list to come forth into the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, and it does actually change a lot. It definitely puts in some balancing mechanisms that were probably necessary, and if you missed out on the second episode, you know exactly why that's the case. But here we go. This is the deck we are going to be bringing, and this is really what LOB format was all about. So a lot of this is going to look similar to the past episode, episode, but we do have to make some modifications now that we don't get to play 3 of all the insanely powerful spell cards when that was still the option. So we're still playing 3 copies of Man-Eater Bug. This is a great option because it allows us to just have some initiative. If we set it, we can flip it, pop something like his defenders, like Wall of Illusion, Giant Soldier of Stone, maybe even pop a Summon Skull. I mean, that's a really big push there, but just it's removal. We want to just have a ton of removal wherever we can. Trapmaster has actually made its way into the main deck. I think this is going to be key in this particular matchup specifically. The reason for this is because not only do we have Trap Hole that we want to dispose of, so that way we can resolve Summon Skull, but we also have cards like Waboku, and why this matters is because if we can flip Trapmaster preemptively to be able to pop a Waboku so that we know on the following turn we can make a push, this is really the only way we have to dispose of it. And so while this card may seem innocuous, this was actually a very critical piece of the LOB format. Some people decide to side deck it and opt of cards like Giant Soldier of Stone, but honestly, I think this card's main deck worthy, and I expect this card to put in a lot of work. Wall of Illusion is still in the main deck. Just being able to bounce anything that Joseph attacks, I think is so good. Far and away outclasses the Giant Soldier, even though Soldier has much higher defense. Wall of Illusion is just by far better. We still have the beaters, 3 Battle Ox, 3 La Jin, and 3 Neo the Magic Swordsman. We need to have our big monsters to be able to kind of clear a path for us, but also be able to get in for a lot of damage, so that way we're then going to be able to win the game much quicker. We have 3 Summon Skull this time around, so the thing is there's a lot less removal to be had. Trap Hole is still in the format. Fissure's there as well, but the thing is there's only 1 Dark Hole, 1 Regeki, so Summon Skull's a lot more likely to stick around if we can set up for it. And the thing is, Summon Skull's very difficult to deal with. The thing about Fissure is all the other monsters we play have lower attack than Summon Skull, so if we're able to keep those monsters on the field in tandem with Summon Skull, Fissure's not going to be enough. And there's also the ability to make Monster Reborn a Summon Skull as well, which is just going to make Monster Reborn that much more important. You're going to definitely want to keep an eye out for setups with Trapmaster to kind of clear a Trap Hole or a Waboku before going into Summon Skull, because I think Joseph and I are going to be trying for that strategy full press. We also have the spell cards, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Pot of Greed, and 1 Regeki. You could call these the Power 5 of Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, back in the day, because they're limited for a reason, and we know that now after the first 2 episodes of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, but we still do have 3 Fissure. This is going to be our other piece of prime removal, and most of the time this is going to be able to do the job. We also have 2 copies of Swords of Revealing Light. This card was actually semi-limited back in the day, and I think that's definitely justified. This card still just allows us to draw 3 cards, so I don't really think there's any reason not to play it. Yeah, sure, D-Spell is an option, but again, D-Spell's only going to be for Swords of Revealing Light specifically, so you could make the argument that, hey, you can catch them off guard if you D-Spell the swords, but I think for the most part, Swords is going to be sticking around. And then for the trap cards, we actually have a little bit of a change up here. So 3 Trap Hole, we've gone all the way to 3 Waboku because we now have the room for it, but we also have 3 Reinforcements. I think this is actually going to be a very crucial card in this matchup because since our decks are most likely going to be mirror matches, it's important to have this card as a sort of battle trick to ensure that, you know, maybe a Battle Ox or a Neo can go toe-to-toe with a La Jin and actually hit over it. If we just summon Neo, set Reinforcements pass, and he slips up, we could punish him by just trading the Reinforcements for his monster, and then our monster can get in directly on the following turn. Just a lot of really good reasons to play this card, and I think playing it at 3 is definitely correct. Then moving on to the side deck, we've got 3 copies of Giant Soldier of Stone. I think these would get swapped out for like Trapmaster, if anything, if we need to be a little bit more defensive, but at the very least, I just wanted to make sure I have some more defense if the games do tend to go that way. 2 Card Destruction. This is also the second card on the semi-limited list. The only reason I'm playing this is if for whatever reason Joseph decides to go and play Exodia again, which to be fair, he did already once, so it's possible he could do it again. 2 copies of D-Spell for potential Swords of Revealing Light shenanigans, but I don't know if we're even going to main it because I don't think it really makes sense. I think it's just best to just let it expire because otherwise this card is absolutely dead. 2 copies of Soul Exchange. This is actually a pretty cool way to be able to tribute our opponent's monsters for our own Summon Skull. It is a little bit gimmicky because we need to have our own Summon Skull already in hand, whereas Change of Heart can be used more offensively and proactively where we can steal his monster and attack him for game if necessary. But I think it's a cool card to have in the side deck just to see how the way the games play out, and we might sub it in if we know we're going first or second. 3 copies of Stop Defense. This is going to be if he decides to go a more defensive route, play a lot of Wall of Illusion, a lot of Giant Soldier, different things like that. Stop Defense will just immediately wipe any of his hopes and dreams of him being able to hold me off. Then we also have 2 copies of Just Desserts. This is a nice little piece of tech. I think if the game gets to the point where our life points are like very low and we just need to deliver one last blow, Just Desserts can really just just do it without us having to actually attack Joseph. So at the very least, this might make an appearance in game 2 or 3, but I don't think it was necessary for game 1. We're gonna have to gauge the way the game goes. We also still have the 1 copy of Ultimate Offering. I'm not 100% on this card still. Again, we'll see how things go, but it's still a really good card, especially if we can make a big push. But I'm excited. I'm 2-0, and I'm feeling pretty good. It's time to duel. Happy limited list day, Joseph. You got a nice little sporting pink shirt on there for the occasion, I see. Nice to see you still wearing that.
Yeah, nice to be in it. I hope that yours is washed because you're going to get some use out of it after this one.
I don't know about that, buddy. It's hard to hear you all the way up here being 2-0 so far.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hey, I want to congratulate you for being the player that was so skillful to draw all of the pots of greed that they had put in their deck. Just a really fantastic accomplishment. You did it.
I'm sorry, Joseph. Did I draw a single pot of greed in that game 2 last time when I won on turn 2?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Where was there a pot of greed there? No, there wasn't.
Are you about to say that your turn 2 victory was completely justified? It wasn't determined by any sacky draws whatsoever?
It wasn't determined by pot of greed, so your whole argument's completely foiled. And look at that. I already won the rock, paper, scissors. Paper gang, get out of here. We are taking that first. We're taking that card because that is objectively the correct thing to do. And I'm going to have to 2-0 you again to prove that that's how things are going to go.
Yeah, this hand is unbeatable. Oh, wow. Maybe I'll draw my 1 of pot.
Maybe. I will just start things off by setting and setting. Go ahead.
Ooh, all right. I actually like that play a lot. I'll be stealing it for myself.
All right, I'll draw for turn. You know, that set card really could be anything. Let's go ahead and normal summon this Battle Ox here.
Thinking. I'm thinking about this one. I will flip up Trap Hole.
Okay, Trap Hole will resolve. We do not have any shenanigans to hide from. And I think I will just go ahead and set another card face down, and I will end my turn.
2 cards set. Are there even 2 playable traps in your deck?
You've become very fond of the LOB format, so you should know this by now.
We'll see. All right, I'm going to begin by flip summoning Maneater Bug, and I will target your face down monster.
You got me. It was my Wall of Illusion.
Okay, well, the 2 cards you have set are probably either Trap Hole or Waboku, and Trap Hole could be very punishing if I summon the wrong thing. That said, I am going to summon the wrong thing. Let's go for Lodge in the Mystical Genie of the Lamp.
That is fine.
Ooh, all right. Well, I have no fear of a Mirror Force, so I'll attack with both of my monsters.
At least not till next episode, that's for sure.
That's going to be a fun one. Fun in the cosmic sense, not in a sense, relative to the viewer.
So I will take 2250, and it looks like you're going to pass it over to me. Well, I will just go ahead and set myself another monster, and I will set another card face down. Go ahead.
What is going on here? What 3 traps could you... Do I need to be playing around just desserts?
Maybe. Who knows?
All right. Well, this is an odd place to be. Cards like Giant Soldier of Stone are still legal, so if it's something like that, you could be walling me entirely. I'm going to try setting a card of my own and proceeding to the battle phase.
That is fine.
All right, let's see what you're hiding.
So I am hiding, as it would turn out, a man-eater bug. And I'm going to think about this, because do I want to take out La Jin, or do I want to take out your set monster? Because both of those are actually pretty viable in this instance. I'm going to go ahead and take out your set monster, as a matter of fact.
Sure, that would be my Wall of Illusion, and then we'll get in for 450.
I will take it, happily.
This is what I get for playing, like, Duel Links, setting things before main phase 2.
Oh, man, I'm actually getting kind of punished there, unfortunately. I am just going to set another card and pass the turn.
That's interesting. Okay, so 3 Waboku and a Trap Hole, I'm assuming.
In that exact order.
Well, let's try for the Trap Hole. I'll normal summon a Battle Ox here.
I think that will be met with the Trap Hole.
All right, makes sense. And off to the graveyard with this monster with tremendous power. I will proceed to battle.
Take myself another 2250 from both the Lodgin and the Maneater Bug. Getting a bit low here.
We are getting there.
Give me a good draw here. I am going to set and pass.
Okay, I will draw for turn. Ooh, that's a very interesting rip. All right, I'll proceed to the battle phase once again, walking my Lodge-in into your set card.
So in response to that, I am going to activate Waboku.
An interesting time to use it, but completely valid.
I am also going to now reveal my flip monster, which is the Trap Master. He does have a flip effect, and I do have to target my own card. So I'm going to target this one right here, which is actually just a Fisher. So it's actually just going to get set once again.
I see what's going on. All right. Well, your Trap Master survives. Oh, why would you flip up the Waboku? You wouldn't do it to preserve 450. Are you playing Summoned Skull this time?
Maybe. We'll have to see. Maybe I just wanted to preserve my life total just a little bit since I'm getting a little bit low.
That doesn't sound like something you would do. I'll set one card of my own and pass turn.
All right, I will draw. You set a monster. So what I'm concerned about is that if that is a man-eater bug, that could be problematic. So how would we do our best to mitigate that? That's the question. I don't think we have many ways to, so I think we kind of just have to do what we have to do. So I'm going to tribute the Trap Master for the Summon Skull himself.
All according to my plan.
I figured. We'll go to battle phase. We'll swing into this man-eater bug.
And I'll take a cool 2150.
2050, yes. Those 50s always messing things up.
Be grateful we're not in the next set. I'm excited to play the 1930 Defense Castle of Dark Illusions.
That's going to get really messed up. I will go to main phase 2. I'm going to fire off this Fisher I have set. We'll take out Lodge-in, and I think we'll just pass the turn. Go ahead.
All right, provided that set card isn't exactly what I hope it isn't, we are going to take this game. I'll flip summon the Trap Master, targeting your last back row.
So it is not a trap, as a matter of fact. It is actually another copy of Fisher.
Oh, Fissure, a very powerful card. In fact, so powerful that I've brought my own.
I figured. Show me the monster.
Unfortunately, while I have a monster, I don't think it's going to be
lethal.
Yeah, we'll go for the Battle Ox here and get in for 2200.
Sure, I will take it. That's going to put me down to only 850. It got me on the ropes here. Ooh, okay. I feel like, I'm in a position where my back's a bit to the wall here, but let's just go for it. I'm going to activate the one of Change of Heart to take your Battle Ox.
Okay, wow. Alex draws really powerful one-ofs once again.
And you know what's better than one Summon Skull, Joseph? 2 Summon Skull.
Oh, fun, interesting, innovative gameplay. I'll take my 2000, but I won't be happy about it.
I know you won't. I'll pass the turn. You'll be happy about that. So you should have a pretty clean game shot here if you can just take out Summon Skull.
You'd think. All right, I'll set a card of my own and pass it back to you.
Ooh, interesting. The tides have turned, and I'm going to activate this Swords of Revealing Light to see what this is.
Gosh, all right. It's my giant soldier of stone.
Okay, well, I'm going to summon Neo the Magic Swordsman, and we are going to get in there.
All right, I'll take my 1700.
What was that, Joseph? I thought you were going to be so close to winning this game. I actually just realized I missed lethal, so that just shows how bad I am.
Real happy to be losing this game in which my opponent has drawn 2 cards on the limited list. I can only hope to draw one of them.
Excuse me, sir. Swords is semi-limited. Thank you very much.
Oh, is that true?
I'm
playing
true.
1 fewer swords than I should be. Oh, God. All right, Fissure's the set card. We'll go for this.
I cannot believe I just missed lethal. That is so embarrassing. Oh, well, hopefully I don't get punished for it. Summon Skull, attack.
All right, it is a man-eater bug. I am going to go for the Summon Skull, though I don't feel very good about it.
Okay, Neo's going to get in for 17 then. I'll go to main 2, set a card, and I will pass the turn.
Now that is a very interesting rip. I've got to think about this one.
That's fine.
If not for the Swords of Revealing Light, I would really be in this.
You were in this for the first half of the game. Don't even.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to activate Monster Reborn, targeting your Summon Skull.
Yeah, that's a card. You're good.
And then I'm going to normal summon a Neo the Magic Swordsman.
Sure.
And you are good to go.
All right, I will draw. We are on turn 2 of Swords here. 2 cards in hand. That's pretty scary with staring down that Summon Skull on the other side of things. I'm just going to set and pass. I'll let you go ahead.
That's an interesting draw. Alright, so unfortunately for me, you could kill me if you walk the Neo into my Neo and fissure the summon skull, then summon anything of consequence. The set card has gotta be Maneater Bug, right? Because otherwise you would normal summon it and go directly at my life points. So given the set card
I also have you under
Maneater
swords, so to be fair, you know, there's not really much pressure for me to need to act at this exact moment.
Yeah. Oh, this is rough. I'm going to sacrifice my Neo the Magic Swordsman for a summon skull.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
I will set one card and allow that swords to expire.
Swords has expired, and I will draw. Well, Joseph, I really hope that that set card is going to be a miracle, because I am going to flip up this Maneater Bug and pop your Summon Skull.
Oh no, not my summon skull.
I'm going to fissure the other Summon Skull.
As expected.
We're going to try to go for game here and see what happens.
I do have the Waboku.
Okay, so you did buy yourself a turn. That's pretty good. I will go to main 2. Okay, I gotta think about this. What is the worst possible outcome here? You could board wipe into a monster. Yeah, I just think I gotta pass. Go ahead.
All right. Change of Heart, Swords of Revealing Light, Pot of Greed. Any monster that attacks over Maneater Bug. That set card is really screwing me up, though. I actually don't have knowledge of what that one is, do I?
You do not know what that one is, correct?
All right, well, Waboku or bust. Let's draw. It's about the least exciting of my win conditions. I'll normal summon Neo the Magic Swordsman and pray to God that it's not exactly Waboku. Oh!
Oh, Joseph, I'm so sorry. Now, it does require me to have a monster, but unfortunately, I did already have the Wall of Illusion in my hand. So, with that being said, I will just go ahead and crash our Neos, and once again, Wall of Illusion will take you down.
Okay, I feel like there were about 15 scenarios that I won this game, and I just ran into none of them.
Joseph, I honestly don't know how I clawed my way back into that one. Come on. Like, are you really going to let me go 6-0 over the first 3 episodes of this series? Like, are you really going to pull a game?
No,
like, is that
no!
where this is going?
Don't worry. I'm confident that I'll be able to do okay this set, but a lot has to go right. And the first thing is that I actually click first. With this extra card, I'll be unstoppable.
I will say I did go into a very fortunate series of top decks last game that pretty much salvaged my victory.
Oh,
so.
Would you say that? Would you say that? All right, I will pass my turn back to you.
Exciting gameplay. I will draw. I will set as well. Go ahead.
This is giving me shades of pre-LOB starter deck format. There's only so many cards that could be. Maneater Bug, Trapmaster, or Wall of Illusion. I don't think we saw Giant Soldiers last game, so I'll normal the Battle Ox and attack.
You're going to run into my Wall of Illusion.
Makes sense. I'll take 150 and add this Battle Ox back to my hand.
Yep, we're going to tempo bounce you back a bit. The fact you didn't flip your set monster makes me a bit curious. It could be a Wall of your own. It could be a Trapmaster. I definitely don't think it's a Maneater Bug because I feel like you would have flipped it to pop my set. I could be wrong.
Maybe I'll just have better things to Maneater Bug later.
Let's go ahead and summon out a Battle Ox of my own. I guess I'll just attack into this. If it's a Wall of Illusion, we're kind of just at a stalemate here.
Your intuition was right. We've got Dueling Walls, the most powerful card in the game.
I mean, it's beaten you twice in a row.
Okay,
so far,
all right.
So. I think I will just pass the turn. Go ahead. Man, the game doesn't get more thrilling than this, I gotta tell you.
I'm gonna try setting a card and passing it back to you.
Okay, I will draw. I like your style so much that I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Go ahead.
We'll draw for turn, and that is a very interesting draw. This might look a little suspect, but I'm pretty sure it's ideal. I'm going to flip summon Maneater Bug and target your set card.
It was my Wall of Illusion again.
Okay, actually, it was not optimal in that case.
You know, I'm just gonna say it. You could bounce your own Maneater Bug back to your hand.
I'm considering it. I mean, it seems better than anything else. Like, I could summon my Battle Ox back and do what exactly? Stare at you menacingly?
All right, take the 1400 then.
All Alright, give me back my man-eater bug. We'll try setting a card, it could be anything, in main phase 2, and passing it back to you.
In all fairness, I actually don't hate that move so much. I kind of respect it. I'm gonna switch my wall to attack.
That's a very interesting decision.
I'm gonna go to battle phase and attack into what I presume to be your man-eater bug.
Big surprise, you have found my man-eater bug. I will destroy your wall of illusion.
Sure, that is fine. I will go to main phase 2. I will go ahead and set a monster, and I will set a face down and end the turn.
That's very interesting. What monster could you possibly be setting?
There's a lot of them.
Wall of Illusion, Trap Master, Man-Eater Bug. That's what we've seen so far.
Hey, don't forget Hane. Give Hane some respect.
I will not. This is a lot to think about.
I'm loving how much we really have to think about this format, though.
Oh, absolutely. It's unironically very skillful, just in the worst possible way.
Considering our deck has 17 vanillas, I would not have expected that much back and forth and that much amount of depth.
I'll normal summon Lodge in the mystical genie of the lamp.
Okay.
And I will proceed to battle phase, walking into whatever manner of nonsense you've set for me.
Joseph, what do you think it is? If you had to place a wager, what would you say that this is?
I know you've drawn 2, but I am 100% certain it's the third Wall of Illusion.
It is not. In response to your attack, though, I will Waboku.
Interesting. That is absolutely fine with me.
This is going to flip the Trap Master, and I'm going to pop your set card.
Unfortunately, it is in fact a trap. To the grave goes my trap hole. This is just about the worst case scenario I was expecting.
Oh, and he's passing. I like where that's going. We're going to just go straight to main 1, sack that for Summon Skull, and let's get over that Lodge in.
All right, I'll take my 700.
And I think we will just go to main 2, set a card, and I'll pass the turn.
This is really cute from you, but I see you haven't figured out a way to get over my Wall of Illusion yet.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Well, unfortunately for you, I've got a way to get over the Summon Skull. It's Fissure.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I will be setting 1 card and passing it back to you.
Okay. I will go ahead and summon Neo the Magic Swordsman. And let's fire into this. Let's see what he's got set here.
All right, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't do this, but Trap Master it is. I will try and target that set card.
Okay. Well, unfortunately for you, it is a Swords of Revealing Light.
Are you just going to draw this every single game against me?
I will go ahead and pass the turn.
Am I getting a sword-free game ever? All right, well, you've seen him. You all know and love the boy. The Battle Ox has returned to the battlefield, and I will attempt to crash into your Neo the Magic Swordsman.
Knowing that I have nothing to stop you, that is 100% fine.
I will set 1 card, and you are good to go.
Right. I think I'm going to go ahead and set, and I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn.
I'll draw. That is a very interesting draw. I'm going to set a fresh one, and then normal summon a Neo the Magic Swordsman. Now, I've summoned him in a zone where you could use Relinquished Anima to steal him.
Okay.
We're going to walk into this set monster.
So, you did not bite, so you did attack into my set Battle Ox. I was hoping that you were just not going to do anything, but, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures.
I don't know how desperate you are! You've got a Swords of Revealing Light!
This is difficult. The thing is, though, I have no need to use the Swords of Revealing Light yet, so I'm just going to keep it set back there. I'll just set and pass. Go ahead.
I'll draw for turn. And that's a very interesting draw. As always, the set card could be just about anything, and none of it good. You previously did set the Battle Ox, but I don't think you'd do that again. Well, hell, let's try it out.
It is, in fact, the third Wall of Illusion this time.
Oh, boy. I'll take my 150, but I won't be happy about it.
I'm happy about it.
I suppose I'll normal summon Neo again and set a 4th card.
I see you've adopted my strategy of just setting everything imaginable.
It wasn't until midway through the second game that I figured it out. There's no reason not to set your entire hand. There's no Heavy Storm. There's no MST. The worst you have to contend with is D-Spell.
Pretty much. Let's go ahead and normal summon a Neo the Magic Swordsman of our own.
That's fine.
All right. I will set a card, and I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'll draw for turn. I'll begin by activating Fissure.
That will remove the Wall of Illusion.
Ugh, and that's the one I'm concerned about. I'll proceed to the battle phase and attempt to walk into your Neo with my Neo.
Damage step.
I have nothing to activate in the damage step, provided you don't.
Reinforcements.
That's an interesting flip. I will be chaining my own reinforcements.
Okay, that is fine. Both of our Neos go, both of our reinforcements go.
This was a fun trade. Let's do it again.
Gonna pass over to me. Well, I guess we will just pass it back to you after setting a monster.
I would really appreciate if you would just stop setting monsters.
I would appreciate it if you stopped setting back row so I could easily trap master you again. That was a lot of fun, personally.
The joys of Trapmaster. He's coming out for game 3, don't you worry.
I'm not surprised. Okay, so the question now is, what is that set monster specifically? I'm gonna go ahead and flip up this man-eater bug, and I'm gonna destroy that set.
It is, in fact, a giant soldier of stone.
Okay, so that's gonna be disposed of. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this play of attacking into Wall of Illusion.
It seems pretty strong.
But now that you know what it is, it's not nearly as good. But I will go to main phase 2, reset, and I will pass.
Right, I will draw for turn. If I attack with the Wall of Illusion, that's probably the best move.
Most likely. It's interesting that doing this with Man-Eater Bug actually plays around a lot of things.
All right,
yes.
I will trade should you take it.
Yep, of course.
And then in main phase 2, oh gosh. Well, I just don't know what to do with myself. I guess I'll activate Pot of Greed.
Oh, okay. Slow rolling the Pot of Greed. Okay.
All right, I'll set one additional card, and it is your turn once again.
I will draw. This might be a good time to fire off the swords. Let's see what this is.
All right, you've got my Wall of Illusion.
Okay, that is fine. I will go ahead and set, and I will pass the turn.
Okay, I will draw for turn. That is an interesting one. I'll set this and pass it back to you.
Turn 1 on swords. I will draw. I think I will just set another monster, and I will pass the turn.
All right, swords to 2 as I end my turn. I think I'll use this opportunity to activate a Swords of Revealing Light of my own.
Ooh, alrighty. So we are going to reveal the Battle Ox, but also the Man-Eater Bug. So I'm going to, with my Man-Eater Bug, let's go ahead and take out this set monster.
All right, unfortunately for me, it is a Trap Master, but fortunately for me, all the traps on the field are mine. You are good to go.
Okay, so that is going to make swords go to 2, and I will draw for turn.
This is Yu-Gi-Oh! As Kazuki Takahashi intended.
Yeah,
you can't
truly
change my mind.
Truly. I will set a monster, and I will pass the turn. Turn 1 on swords for you.
All right. I am not in any kind of rush. You are good to go.
Okay, so my swords has expired. Go to main 1. I will just set a card, and I think I will just pass the turn. Go ahead.
All right, I'll draw for turn. My swords is a 2. Now, realistically, how many monsters that want to be set could you possibly be playing? I've seen all 3 Wall of Illusion. I've seen 2 Man-Eater Bugs, and I've seen a Trap Master. That set card can't be the 3rd Man-Eater Bug. I refuse to believe it.
I'll just attack it and find out then.
Oh, we're going to. Maybe not this turn. For this turn, I'd like to eat this Battle Ox that you've conspicuously left in defense, and maybe we'll get over this Man-Eater Bug as well.
That will be okay.
All right, you are good to go, my good sir.
All right, let's draw away here. I'm going to flip up the Neo the Magic Swordsman that was set to at least possibly prevent him from dying on the following turn.
I will activate Trap Hole.
That's perfectly fine by me. The question is, how many trap holes do you have? I will normal summon La Jin.
La Jin is also going to eat a trap hole.
Sure. Okay, let's see. In what universe do I just immediately lose this game? You have 2,700 worth of damage on the board. You haven't used Monster Reborn yet. There is a Summon Skull in the graveyard, so at the very least, 27 plus 25 is 52, plus any good normal summonable monster would do the trick. So, with that said, I will pass the turn. Swords is expired.
All right, I'll draw for turn. I'm going to normal summon a Battle Ox.
That's going to be met by my trap hole.
Makes sense. I will set 1 card and proceed to battle phase. You must disclose if you will evenly match me.
I am not going to be evenly matching you, although that would be very nice right now if that card were legal.
I disagree.
Okay. Well, all of your trap holes are gone, so that makes me feel pretty good, actually. Let's start things off with a Monster Reborn targeting the Summon Skull in my graveyard.
Absolutely fine. I have no issue with that.
I don't even think you have anything that could answer that anyway. And let's go ahead and normal summon a La Jin, because I know you don't have any trap holes. We're going to go to battle. Summon Skull is going to attack into Neo here, because I know you play Reinforcements, so you need specifically double Reinforcements to be able to deal with this Summon Skull.
Let me do some math. theoretically.
Oh god, don't tell me you have it.
Lodge-in is attack, or you said summon Skull
Summon
into
Skull
the Neo.
into the Neo, correct.
I'm trying to get far too cute. Awaboku here.
Sure, that is fine. I will go to main 2, and to avoid me getting completely blown out by Change of Heart, I will activate the second copy of Swords of Revealing Light. Assuming Dueling Book lets me activate it. There we go. I will end the turn. Go ahead.
I will draw for turn. Well, the first thing I'll do is switch my Wall of Illusion to defense
That
position.
might be advisable.
The second thing I'll do is send my Neo the Magic Swordsman to the graveyard to summon my own Summon Skull.
Ooh, okay.
And with that, I'll pass turn.
I will draw. Turn 1 on Swords. Summon Skull. It's quite scary. I will go ahead and set and pass the turn. I am dead set on you having a reinforcements in the back row at this point.
I am not sure if this is the right play, but I will be doing it. I'm going to activate Dark Hole.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's going to resolve. You got rid of my Trap Master, so you get to protect whatever that other card is.
I'm then going to activate nothing, right? I'll normal summon a Lodge-in.
Respectable. Turn 2 on Swords. I will just Fisher off the Lodge-in.
As expected.
And I'll pass the turn, actually.
I'll draw for turn. I'll set 1, and let's be done with this Swords nonsense.
The Swords nonsense is over with. I will actually just set a card and pass.
All right, let's see if we can make this happen. I'll activate Monster
Ooh.
Reborn, targeting Summon
Yes,
Skull.
sir.
I will normal summon a giant soldier of stone.
Yep.
I will proceed to the battle phase.
Sure.
1300,
1300 is fine.
2500.
In response, I will just desert you out of spite for 1500 damage.
I knew you were on this garbage card. And then, unsurprisingly, in damage, I'll bump
Yep,
him up.
you got it. Game 3.
Oh, yes!
Joseph, congratulations on your very first win in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think you definitely earned it that round, that's for sure.
Thank you. It's not every day that I have to play through 2 Swords of Revealing Light, but it's every day that I am absolutely ready to expose anyone who thinks they can take on the champ.
Well, let's go ahead and see if you will be the champ after this episode, and if I will be adorning the lovely pink Hawaiian shirt. Good luck, duelist. Let's go ahead and kick things off by setting and setting. I will pass to you. Oh, actually, I didn't even draw for turn, but it's not going to change my play. Go ahead.
See, this is what I liked about the last game. It lasted long enough that I think the pair of us could figure out what all of the set cards are. The 3 Wall of Illusion, the 3 Trap Master, the 3 Man-Eater Bug. Well, here is hoping that it's not a Wall of Illusion.
So, you jumped the gun a little bit there. I'm actually going to go ahead and trap hole your Lodge-in.
Oh, boo! I don't need that card.
All right, I will draw for turn. Let's go ahead and just summon out Neo the Magic Swordsman, and let's just dunk in for 17. Might be the only damage we're getting in all game. Go ahead.
Alright, I liked your opening play, so I will be setting a monster of my own alongside a spell or trap.
Ooh, scary. I will draw. Let's go ahead and flip up this Man-Eater Bug, pop that set monster.
As expected, though I wasn't very happy about it.
Let's go to battle, attempt to swing in for 2150 here.
I will take it, and that is, wow, that's dangerous.
Yeah, this is getting a lot faster than the last game. I will go ahead and, I'll set, and I will set a back row. Go ahead.
Alright, I will draw for turn. Let's kick things off with my old friend, Pot of Greed!
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's an alright card. I'm then going to activate a Swords of Revealing Light. I'd like to see what that set card is.
So it is a Trap Master. I will attempt to pop your set card.
That's cute. I'll respond by activating reinforcements, giving your Trap Master 500 more attack!
He appreciates your generosity.
No problem. I live to serve. I'm gonna set 3 cards and pass it back to you.
3 cards! Oh my god. I will draw. Well, I can't attack. I can, however, put this Man-Eater Bug into defense, which I'm very happy about. And with that, I think I will just simply pass the turn. Turn 1 on Swords.
Alright, Swords inches ever closer to death, as do you, my friend. I will normal summon a Battle Ox,
That is fine.
and I will proceed to the battle phase. Let's get over that Man-Eater Bug before you can start doing Wall of Illusion shenanigans. Not that my set card is Wall of Illusion, of course.
That makes me partially want to believe that it's Wall of Illusion, since that was the first thing you went after, but we'll have to see. I will draw for turn. I will go ahead and set ourselves a monster, and we shall set ourselves another card in our back row. Go Go ahead.
All right, that's turn 2 on swords. I will draw for turn. Interesting. I am going to flip summon a man-eater bug and target this set monster.
It was my Wall of Illusion.
Thank the Lord for that. I will send to the grave my man-eater bug, and we will attempt to summon a summon skull. Please don't have drawn trap hole.
I did draw trap hole, so he is no longer of this earth.
Well, no big deal. I can walk into the Trap Master and set an additional card in main phase 2.
You can, so I will let the Trap Master go. And I will draw for turn. I think I'll go ahead and set myself another monster, and I will set another card in the back row. Go ahead.
All right, I'll draw for turn. I'll proceed to the battle phase and walk in with the Battle Ox.
It is my Wall of Illusion.
So it is. I'll take the 150, and then in main phase 2, I don't know, re-normal summon the Battle Ox. I'm going to couple that with a Fissure, because I really can't stand this card.
Sure. Okay, I will draw. I will go ahead and set a monster, and I will set another card in the back row. Go ahead.
This is a very interesting game we've walked ourselves into.
This is much faster than our last game, that's for sure.
I'll try for the set card.
It is going to be Giant Soldier of Stone this time around.
Really? I don't think we actually saw this in any of the other games.
Maybe I sided it in. Who knows?
You sided into Giant Soldier of Stone? I guess you had some stuff to take out.
It's all about the tactics, right? I will draw. Well, let's go ahead and send this Neo into your set monster and see what we got back here.
Similarly, I am playing with the Flying Soldier of Stone.
Okay, so that is going to be first damage to me. I will take 300. I will go to main 2, and I will just set myself a monster, and I'll pass the turn.
I'll draw. All right, let's see what that set monster is. How many times are we going to play this game?
So it is a Trap Master this time around. I don't really know which one of these I want to take out, so I'm just going to let chance determine it.
All right, well, to the grave goes my Wabakoo.
Okay, that's a pretty good hit.
I will pass turn.
All right, I will draw. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's start off by seeing what this set monster is.
Well, as expected, it is Wall of Illusion.
Okay, so I will take 150, and Neo will return to my hand. We'll enter main 2. I will attempt to resummon Neo the Magic Swordsman.
That's absolutely fine with me.
And I think I will just pass the turn on that. Go ahead.
Well, this isn't pretty, but it seems we've worked our way to a standstill.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Gotta think about this one. I'm feeling it. Let's Dark Hole.
Whoa, that is disastrous.
And I will summon Neo the Magic Swordsman.
Okay.
That fine?
I will trap hole your monster.
That is fine with me. I will pass the turn.
I'll draw, and I'll summon a Battle Ox, I suppose.
That's fine.
Let's see if he can get in there.
I will take 1,700.
You are good to go.
I will draw. I will summon a La Jinn, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp.
No problem.
I will go to battle phase.
Also fine.
I will attack the Battle Ox.
Is the damage step okay with you?
Damage step's fine. What do you got for me?
All right, let's trade some reinforcements, buddy.
I am okay with this if you are.
All right, I'll take the 100.
Okay. And I will pass the turn. Go ahead. Just like that, our resources have quickly diminished.
Oh, sheesh. Okay, I'm gonna fire off a Fissure just because that's gonna be a really hard card to deal with. But other than that, I have nothing going.
Uh-oh. That's not too good, Joseph. I'm going to summon Neo the Magic Swordsman out and attempt to get in for that 17.
I will take it.
I will pass. Running a bit low on life there.
Don't worry, my Neo will protect me.
Interesting. He summons and passes.
I'm not getting blown out by reinforcement number 2.
Oh, this could be interesting. I'm down. Let's jam. Let's fissure your Neo.
Sure.
And just because it's so fun to do this to you, I am going to normal summon Wall of Illusion.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to go to battle phase, and we'll see if we run into Waboku.
Not yet.
It is Waboku. Okay. I will pass the turn.
Oh, gosh. Well, I have a Fissure, which at minimum means I'm not losing to Wall of Illusion beatdown.
But unfortunately, Joseph, you are going to lose to my Summon Skull!
I can't believe this! Oh, God. I really felt like I had that first game. This one was never really gonna be.
What was the last card in your hand?
Oh, I'll give you one guess.
I figured. I had a Waboku set, and I drew a Battle Ox for turn.
Jeez.
Oh, there was my side deck.
You're still playing Stop Defense. I guess that makes sense.
I sided it in for the third game because there's so many instances where, like, I noticed in the second game, your Wall of Illusion probably lasted on the field for like 10 turns. And that's just because I couldn't even get over it. And so even if there was a universe where one of my Neos or my Battle Oxes or my Lajins bounced back to my hand, at least I could kill the wall. And so also it can flip up Maneater Bug preemptively without it being like swords. So that's another cool trick. Also, like, you had Giant Soldier of Stone. So if I needed to get through that, I figured just kind of siding in a Stop Defense just as a one of, I figured would be kind of okay. Didn't come up obviously, but I was just kind of just gauging how that last game went.
I have to say, while obviously Swords of Revealing Light and Pot of Greed are extremely powerful and we all saw them every game, I am very happy neither of us ever found Raigeki.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. In that second game specifically, I'm like, this is going to come down to whoever top decks Raigeki first. I was like, sure, that's how that game was going to end. So I was happy that it didn't, but damn, that would have been a huge one. I definitely think that Dark Hole, when we had such a full board of monsters, was really like the difference maker, because I had like 4 cards in hand. You only had like 3 back row, and you needed specifically almost all trap holes to like 1-for-1 trade with my stuff. Like, Wabaku's fine because like I don't lose the monster. And so since I was ahead at that point, I figured that was the correct time to Dark Hole.
It ends up being a really weird scenario where you're Dark Holing your own full board a lot of the time. But that's one of the biggest, I think, skill tests in this format outside of who can put 2 swords in their deck.
I definitely agree with you that there's a lot of depth to this format. I mean, there was just so many decision points where, again, the pool of like set monsters, just as an example, there's realistically only like 4 good monsters that are going to be played that are set. And so there's like a mind game of like, okay, if I lead with this, what is he going to respond with? And also the interplay of Trap Master trying to bait out like Wabaku or Trap Hole to set up for a Summon Skull. That was also something. Like, I had Wabaku in our second game, I think, in my hand for like 4 turns, and then I finally set it when I had it backed up with Trap Master to take out your set card so that I could drop Skull on the follow-up. And so it's just those different interactions that can really add up and really just pay off in dividends if you're able to like execute them on them correctly. You know, unless your opponent just draws like some of the crazy one-ups, which you really can't account for. But I was genuinely surprised how fun this was. This, compared to the last 2 episodes, I mean, geez, but...
Yeah, not a high bar to clear, but I still feel pretty good about it. I will say the set your entire hand to play around Trap Master is going to be way less powerful once Heavy Storm is added to the card pool.
Yeah, Metal Raiders will be the next episode, and the thing is, the ban list for Metal Raiders doesn't come out till later, so we're going to be playing with this current ban list, but Metal Raiders legal, so that means 3 Heavy Storm, 3 Mirror Force, 3 Witch, 3 Sangan, 3 Magician of Faith. Oh man, it's going to be exciting.
I'm considering playing like a 60-card deck. I mean, outside of decking you, how do I win?
It's going to be, I mean, Mirror Force too. That's another, that's going to be a huge one though, because that's basically just Raigeki in a trap. Trap Master might still be very viable just because Mirror Force is going to be meta.
Yeah, I'll certainly be playing some number of Heavy Storm Recyclers.
Yeah, for sure. But exciting gameplay. I think it's going to be a lot of fun as we get into some of these other sets specifically, and we get to see kind of both sides of the pre-ban list and also like once the ban list has been properly executed, because there are windows in time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history where, you know, you have to play this completely degenerate format for a couple weeks before the ban list kind of comes in, relatively stabilizes out the format. But I think definitely this episode compared to episode 2, it was almost like night and day.
Oh yeah, just the lack of Raigeki and Dark Hole and swords available at all times meant that we actually had to interact with each other.
What?
I mean, horror of horrors.
Who wants to play that kind of Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, I'm just looking to combo on you turn 1 while you have no hand traps. And what a better format to do it in. Hand traps weren't even printed yet.
Exactly. Of course, the combos in this game are mostly set 1 pass, but, you know, you take what you can.
Hey, man, the Maneater Bug Summon Skull combo is pretty legit. I can't lie.
Wait, Raigeki is going to be banned very shortly, and none of us have executed the unbeatable Silver Fang 2-card combo.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. I believe Raigeki does get banned on the next ban list. I'm not 100% sure about that, but obviously you guys will know when you see the next episode, so be sure to stick around. But guys, that is going to wrap up the 3rd episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! video. Hashtag Team MBT, hashtag Team Cimo. Let us know who you're rooting for. This is going to be a ton of fun as we start getting into some other formats. We have more cards available. We have more decks to discover. It's going to be great. I can't wait. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.